True, ma'am. And, today in these times, especially in the political spectrum, there is a lack of culture of transparency and accountability. How can Dr. Singh's, humility and integrity serve as a model for for the future politicians, for the present politicians, in order, and what steps, can be taken? All right, there is the gun salute that is taking place. In order to honor Dr. Manmohan Singh there. Neerja Chaudhary, I was speaking about how we lack a culture of transparency in these times and accountability in Indian politics. How can Dr. Singh's
humility.
And humility, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, ma'am, just give us a sense of how can Dr. Singh's life be a model for future politicians and the way politics should be done?
I think, what was his unique selling point, as they say, his USP. He reached out across the political divide, and people across the political divide came to him. And what pained him in his last months was the immense bitterness, katuta and all that they talked about between the ruling side and the opposition side. And I think this is the ability to have a dialogue with even your opponent, your adversary, without personal bitterness creeping in, is what democracy is all about. And if there is deadlock there, then there's going to be an impasse, there's going to be a standoff, you're not going to be able to move forward to resolve issues. So I think today, with huge aggression, I would say even viciousness creeping into political relationships between the two sides, I think Dr. Singh and what he stood for and what he wanted and what exercised him in the last months of his life is truly, truly relevant. I think, and a beginning, I feel, even for a few hours, where the entire top political leadership is present to give him a befitting farewell, right from the president, vice president, prime minister, defense minister, home minister, along with the Congress leadership and other party people. I think it is a befitting farewell because, as I said earlier also, ironically, in his death, he has become a symbol of unity, even for those hours. I hope it will not only be just those few hours.
Absolutely, ma'am. I also want to talk about a little bit of his tenureship as the Prime Minister. When he took over as the Prime Minister of this country, coalition politics was something that had started getting into Indian politics. We have seen that in the previous regime of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, then the UPA first and the second. What I want to understand from you, ma'am, is what lessons can be drawn from Dr. Singh's approach to coalition politics and, his ability to build a consensus across party lines?
When the certain ministers were taken in who had a question mark against their, record, and he had protested. I remember he'd almost, somebody had told me at that time, senior Congress person, he took out there is a resignation letter and was persuaded, you can't at the outset of your term start to resigning. And then I think he developed a he became a tougher personality and knew he had to take all these people along. And therefore, he depended a lot on the party, he depended a lot on Pranab Mukherjee to do things, and how to deal with Sonia Gandhi on the one hand, how to deal with with Pranab Mukherjee on the other hand, who used to address as Sir before he became Prime Minister and continued to address him as Sir even in private till Pranab Mukherjee told him not to do so. And Pranab Mukherjee would virtually conduct the cabinet meetings. And Prime Minister Manmohan Singh said very little at these meetings. But he knew that he was at the apex, at the head. He had to take all these forces along and not have the boat rocked. So I think that is what he probably swallowed many a bitter pill to be able to do that. But he kept it going for 10 long years.